Let me tell you something right now. You don't deserve rest if you haven't earned it. Sleep isn't a reward for doing average work. Sleep isn't a free pass for lazy effort. Sleep is a trophy. A trophy for those who showed up when they didn't feel like it. For those who pushed through when their body said quit. For those who bled, sweated, and cried for a dream no one else could see. Every night when your head hits that pillow, the question is simple. Did you earn this? Not did you show up to work. Not did you go through the motions. I'm talking about giving your soul to the grind. Did you give it everything? Or did you coast through your day, distracted, procrastinating, wasting the gift of time? You want your dream? Then earn it with your discipline. You want that business to succeed? Then earn it with your early mornings. You want to change your life? Then earn it by going to war with your excuses. I don't care about talent. I don't care what you were born with. What I care about is what you do when no one's clapping. What you do when it's 4 a.m. and the world's asleep, but you're still grinding. That's how you earn your sleep. You don't get to lay down with peace unless you stood up with purpose. Don't sleep for rest. Sleep for reward. You got to change the way you think about sleep. Too many people treat sleep like it's something they're entitled to, like it's guaranteed, like it's owed to them just for showing up. But let me be real with you. Sleep is not a right, it's a reward. You don't just get to lay down and relax unless you've gone out and done something worth resting from. That's the mindset of a warrior. That's the mindset of someone chasing greatness. See, we live in a world where comfort is the norm. People work half-heartedly for a few hours and then think they deserve to binge Netflix, scroll social media, and crash in bed guilt-free. But what did you do to earn that sleep? Did you push yourself? Did you grind when nobody was watching? Did you pursue your goals like your life depended on it? No, because let me tell you something. For those of us chasing purpose, sleep isn't a right. It's a reflection of our grind. Every time your head hits that pillow, it should be a celebration. Not because you're tired, but because you gave it everything. That sleep should feel like a trophy at the end of a war day, a day where you stood up, showed up, and poured every ounce of energy into becoming who you said you'd be. You don't get that kind of rest from doing average work. You get that from leaving your soul on the battlefield. People ask me, how do you get up at 3 a.m. every day? Don't you get tired? Of course, I get tired. I'm human. But I understand this one truth. Rest without results is just a trap. I don't want to lay down at night and feel regret in my bones. I want to rest with peace in my heart, knowing that I left it all on the field. If I haven't put in the work, I don't deserve the rest. I haven't earned that sleep. And I'm not just talking about jobs or school. I'm talking about life, dreams, purpose. You say you want to be great? You want to be successful? You want to change your life, change your family's life, break generational curses? Then you've got to wake up with intention and grind like you're at war. Because sleep is for closest. Sleep is for finishers. Sleep is for those who honored their time. Don't misunderstand me. Sleep is important. Your body needs it. Your mind needs it. But don't give it away cheaply. Make sleep something you fight for, something you earn. When you start treating sleep like a trophy, your whole day changes. You stop procrastinating. You stop wasting time. You stop wasting time. You stop settling. You show up on time. You stay late. You go the extra mile. Why? Because you want to rest with pride, not sleep through guilt. You ever lay in bed heart racing because you know deep down you didn't give it your all that day? That's your soul telling you the truth. That's your spirit reminding you that greatness doesn't come easy. It's not about how many hours you worked. It's about how much of yourself you gave. Did you show up fully present? Did you give it that championship energy? Or did you just float through the motions, hoping no one noticed? When you earn your sleep, you earn your peace. And there's nothing more valuable than that. That feeling when your eyes close and your body sinks into the mattress, not because you're escaping, but because you conquered. That's what you want. That's what makes sleep sweet. That's what separates the legends from the lazy. If you're not giving everything you've got to your vision, your family, your health, your hustle, then don't expect peace when you lay down. Sleep will feel heavy because it's full of regret. But if you get up every morning and chase your purpose like a lion, if you grind with discipline, if you fight with focus, you will sleep like a king, like a queen. Like someone who didn't just survive the day, but dominated it. So tomorrow when you wake up, don't just think about the pillow you'll end up on. Think about what you're doing to earn it. Think about how you'll look yourself in the mirror and say, today I gave it everything. Make your pillow proud. Make your dream proud. Make yourself proud. Because at the end of the day, sleep is not a break. It's a badge of honor. Earn it. Everybody wants peace. Everybody wants to lay down at night and feel calm, feel satisfied, feel fulfilled. But here's the truth. They don't teach in school, and most people don't want to hear. You don't get peace unless you earn it. And the only way to earn it is to go to war during the day. What do I mean by go to war? I'm talking about attacking your goals like your life depends on it. I'm talking about confronting your fears, your distractions, your doubts, and handling business even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when no one's watching, because that's what warriors do. They fight every single day. See, people want peace, but they're running from the battle. They want comfort, but they avoid the grind. They want to feel proud when their head hits the pillow, but they spent their whole day procrastinating, scrolling, wasting time. That's not how peace works. You can't cheat the process. You can't coast through the day and expect your spirit to be calm at night. Peace doesn't come from sleep. Peace comes from progress. It comes from knowing you stepped into the arena and gave it your all. Even if you didn't win today, even if things didn't go perfectly, if you fought with everything you had, you can rest, you can lay down and say, I did my part. But if you didn't show up, if you hid, if you took the easy road, your mind will remind you of that. That inner voice will whisper to you in the dark. That's not peace. That's punishment. You've got to go to war with everything that's trying to stop you. The distractions, the laziness, the bad habits, the fear. Those things are real, and they don't take days off. So if you're not willing to fight, you're surrendering. And when you surrender during the day, don't expect to sleep peacefully at night, because deep down, you'll know you quit. You see, for some people, the alarm clock is their enemy. They dread waking up because it means facing the reality of another wasted day. But for warriors, for grinders, the alarm clock is a call to battle. It's the sound of opportunity. The moment your feet hit the floor, you gotta be ready to throw punches, ready to give the day everything you got. Because when the sun sets, it will ask you one question. Did you show up today? If the answer is yes, then peace will find you. You'll sleep like a baby because your spirit knows you honored your calling. You respected your time. You fought with integrity. But if the answer is no, if you hid from your goals, if you avoided the hard stuff, then don't expect peace. Expect restlessness. Expect regret. Expect that sinking feeling that you wasted another 24 hours you'll never get back. Look, I'm not saying every day will be perfect. I'm not saying you won't get knocked down, but I'm saying you better throw some punches. You better move forward. You better go to war with whatever's trying to hold you back, because the war isn't just out there. It's inside. That war is in your mind. That war is between who you are and who you're called to be, between the easy road and the right road. And if you're not fighting that war, you're already losing. The reason so many people can't find peace isn't because life is too hard. It's because they're not showing up for the fight. They're walking through life like spectators instead of warriors. They're spectators in their own story. And at night, when the world goes quiet, they hear the truth echoing in their hearts. You could have done more. You were made for more. Why did you quit? That's why I say you don't get peace at night unless you went to war during the day. So ask yourself, did you give it all today? Did you confront your fear? Did you silence your excuses? Did you fight through the pain, the doubt, the distractions? Or did you give in? Did you run? Did you hide? Did you hide because your answer to those questions, that's what determines your peace. Peace isn't passive, peace is earned. Peace is what warriors receive when the battle is over and they know they left everything on the field. So if you want to sleep with peace, if you want to rest with pride, then you've got to go to war while the sun's up. Go to war with your weakness. Go to war with your comfort zone. Go to war with the average version of yourself. And don't stop until you've crushed it, until you've outworked it, until you've silenced it. Because when you fight hard all day, your soul will rest easy all night. Let me break this down for you real clear. Your feelings don't care about your future. Don't care about your future. They don't care about your goals, your vision, your dream, or the people depending on you. Your feelings are soft. Your feelings will sell you out. That's why if you want to be great, talking real greatness, legacy type greatness, discipline has to dominate your feeling. Too many people are slaves to how they feel. Feel like getting up, don't feel motivated. I don't feel like working out. I don't feel like studying today. Listen to me. If you only move when you feel like it, you'll never move toward greatness. Success doesn't care about how you feel. Winning doesn't wait for your emotions to align. Destiny requires obedience, not comfort. There are going to be days when everything in your body says quit. Your mind says sleep. Your heart says take a break. But that's the exact moment when discipline has to take control. Discipline is your anchor. It's the decision to show up no matter what the weather is outside or inside. Discipline is consistency without apology. It's choosing purpose over pleasure, routine over randomness, long-term gain over short-term relief. You think I wake up at 3 a.m. every day because I feel like it. You think I get on stages, speak to millions, train champions. My feelings push me now. It's discipline. It's routine. It's responsibility. My why is bigger than my feelings. You've got to reach the place where your mission is so clear, so urgent, that how you feel becomes irrelevant. Feelings are liars. One moment they tell you you're tired, and the next they tell you you're not good enough. One day you're fired up. The next day you're full of doubt. If you let your emotions drive your actions, you'll be on a roller coaster your whole life. That's not how champions live. Champions are not emotional. They are committed. Discipline said, I don't care how you feel. Do it anyway. Discipline says, you don't want to work out, get up and grind. Discipline says, you're tired, push through, you're scared, show up anyway. When you train your mind to obey your principles instead of your feelings, you take control of your life. You start to live by values, not vibes. You start to rise while others snooze. You start to build momentum that feelings could never give you. Let me tell you something personal. It's like their mama's up. There were times I was dead broke. I was sleeping in abandoned buildings. I didn't have food, didn't have money, didn't have comfort. But you know what I did have? Discipline. I showed up anyway. I studied anyway. I worked on myself anyway because I made a decision, not a wish, a decision that I would not die average. And discipline kept that decision alive, even when my feelings tried to kill it. Your feelings want to keep you safe. Discipline wants to make you great. And you can't have both. One has to win. Either your feelings dominate your life and keep you in a cycle of excuses, or your discipline leads you to the life you were created for. It starts with one small thing. Get up when you don't feel like it. Go to the gym when you don't feel like it. Study when you're tired. Work when others are chilling. That's how discipline grows. And the more you obey discipline, the stronger it becomes. Eventually, you reach a point where it's automatic. You don't negotiate with yourself anymore. You just do it. That's where the power is. Here's the truth. Feelings come and go, but results are permanent. Nobody cares if you didn't feel like it. Nobody remembers how tired you were. What they remember is whether you showed up. What they remember is whether you finished. What they remember is whether you let feelings win or whether you let discipline dominate. So the next time you hear yourself say, I don't feel like it, check yourself. Ask yourself, is this how a warrior talks? Is this how a finisher thinks? Is this what the 2.0 version of me would say? If the answer is no, then stop listening to that voice and get up, voice and get up. Move, work, grind, execute. Because discipline is not a punishment, it's a path. It's not restrictions, liberation. It doesn't make life harder, it makes life greater. If you want to sleep with peace, wake up with purpose. If you want peace at night, let discipline drive you through the day. Let me make something real clear. The grind doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care if you're tired. It doesn't care if you're motivated. It doesn't care if you just had a bad day. The grind is cold. It's ruthless. It's not built to be sensitive to your emotions. It's built to test your commitment. And if you're only grinding when you're in the mood, then you're not grinding. You're playing. You're pretending. You're living by feelings, not by fire. And feelings will fool you every time. See, the grind doesn't stop to ask, hey, how are you feeling today? It doesn't slow down just because you're having a rough moment. Your dream, your goals, your calling, they're waiting for one thing: execution. And whether you show up or not, the clock keeps ticking. Your competitors keep working. The opportunity keeps moving. The grind does not pause for your pain. You've got to stop expecting success to feel good. Stop thinking that motivation will carry you all the way. Motivation might get you started, but discipline is what keeps the engine running when the fuel runs out. You think the Navy SEAL wakes up every morning with a smile? You think Olympic athletes feel like training every day? No, but they show up anyway, because greatness isn't based on mood. It's based on mission. You want peace when your head hits the pillow. You want to rest with pride. Understand this truth. Mood is irrelevant, effort is everything. Stop negotiating with yourself. Stop waiting to feel right. The grind doesn't care about your feelings, but your future will be built on what you did despite them. Let me tell you something personal. I didn't feel like waking up at 3 a.m. every day when I started. I didn't feel like working for hours while everybody else was sleeping, partying, chilling. But I did it anyway. Why? Because I understood something most people don't. Feelings don't build legacy. Consistency does. The grind demanded a sacrifice, and I chose to obey the grind, not my emotion. You gotta develop a mindset where showing up is non-negotiable. I don't care if you're sad. I don't care if you're drained. I don't care if you're uninspired. Winners show up regardless. The elite keep working through the storm, through heartbreak, through failure, through fear, because they understand that the grind respects resilience, not excuses. Some of you are waiting for the perfect moment to work hard. You're waiting for the inspiration to hit. You're waiting for the stars to align and the mood to match. And every day you wait, you're getting lapped by somebody who's grinding in silence, pushing through pain, stacking wins. While you're stuck in wind, while you're stuck in a maybe tomorrow, let me hit you with something real. You are not your mood. You are your choices, your actions, your grit. What separates the best from the rest isn't talent. It's the ability to execute regardless of emotion. Champions train on the days they feel like losers. Warriors march into battle even when they feel weak. That's what makes them powerful. They don't serve their mood, they serve their mood, they serve their mission. I need you to get this in your bones. The grind is heartless, fire. It will never lie to you. It will never cheat you. If you give it everything, it gives you everything back. But if you show up soft, if you give it half, if you skip the work because you didn't feel like it, then don't cry when your results match your mood. You're either a slave to your feelings or a soldier for your future. So next time you wake up and you don't feel like getting out of bed, do it anyway. When you're sore, tired, and your mind is saying, "I'll take it easy, push harder." When you feel unmotivated, uninspired, unfocused, stay locked in, because the grind will reward those who showed up despite it all. Stop waiting for the mood to match the mission. Make your mission so strong that your mood bows down to it. Because in the end, your mood doesn't pay the bills. Your mood doesn't get the degree. Your mood doesn't build the business. Your mood doesn't earn the respect. The grind does. So show up. Tired, scared, angry, sad. Show up anyway, because the grind doesn't care about your mood, but it will always recognize your effort. Don't tell me you have big dreams if you're not putting in big effort. Don't talk about becoming great if your actions are ash. I'm gonna say this loud and clear. Your effort must match your dreams, period. No shortcuts, no excuses, no skipping steps. Everybody wants the success. Everybody wants the mansion, the car, the freedom, the stage, the applause, but very few are willing to pay the full price. You want $1 million results on $10 effort. It doesn't work like that. You can't cheat this. You can't hustle halfway and expect full blessings. This ain't magic. It's muscle. It's mind, sweat, consistency, and obsession. Listen to me. Dreams don't respond to wishing. They don't move because you say you want them. They move when you grind. They move when you sacrifice, when you focus, when you put the work in daily with no promise of immediate reward. That's the grind. That's how dreams are earned, not handed out like participation trophies. If your dream is massive, then your work ethic better be monstrous. You want to be the best? Then stop working like the rest. You want to be remembered? Then you better live like your future depends on every single rep, every single second, every single decision. Because guess what? It does. You think the greats got there by taking shortcuts. You think Kobe, LeBron, Serena Macy, You think they stumbled into greatness? No, they grinded in the dark. None of it. When others were sleeping, they were studying. When others were partying, they were practicing. They didn't just want the dream. They were obsessed with matching the dream with elite effort every single day, You can't plant a seed and then sit back and hope it grows while you're watching TV and skipping discipline. You've got to water, protect it, work it, and earn every inch of progress. This life is not about talent alone. It's about how much of yourself you're willing to give when it's not convenient, when it's painful, when it's lonely. And let me tell you this, shortcuts are lies. They look good, they feel good. They sound like wisdom when you're tired. But shortcuts steal the struggle, and the struggle is where strength is born. You don't get character from easy roads. You don't get durability from skipping reps. You get those things in the process, in the trenches, in the daily decision to say, my dream is worth it. I won't cheat the grind. I see people all the time talking about what they want. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be the best in my field. I want to be respected. Okay, good. But are you matching that energy? Are you waking up early? Are you studying when your friends are chilling? Are you locked in on your purpose when your mood says take it easy? Because that's the kind of effort required. Anything less, and you're just dreaming with no discipline. You say you want to build an empire, but you quit after one bad day. You say you want to inspire the world, but you ghost your goals every time things get uncomfortable. That's not dream chasing. That's dream abandoning. You got to push yourself past comfort, past convenience, past the good enough. You got to be so committed that it hurts. You've got to sweat when nobody's watching, grind when nobody's clapping, build when nobody believes. That's how you earn it. That's how you separate yourself. Look, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. But what you do need is unmatched effort. Show me somebody who's consistent, someone who shows up when it's hard, and I'll show you somebody who will win in the long run. Because effort never lies. Your effort is a mirror. It reflects what you truly want. Not what you say, but what you actually value. If your effort is weak, your dream ain't real. Because when you really want something, when you want it deep in your bones, you do whatever it takes. You turn down distractions. You outwork your emotions. You go to war with every excuse. You believe for your goals. And that kind of effort, it never goes unnoticed. It creates momentum. It attracts opportunities. It earns respect. But most importantly, it lets you look in the mirror at the end of the day and say, I gave it everything. So stop cutting corner. Stop wishing for ease. And stop asking for results your work ethic hasn't earned. Raise your standard. Raise your grind. Match your dream. Because until your effort meets the level of your vision, your dream will stay a fantasy. No shortcuts. No cheat codes. Just all in every day. Stop going to sleep early if you didn't wake up with hunger. Stop lying to yourself like you earned that rest when all you did was coast through your day. Let's be honest. You don't deserve early sleep if you didn't execute. You don't get to lay your head down in comfort unless you woke up in beast mode and left everything on the table. You see, we've gotten too soft. Too many people are proud to say, I get 8 hours of sleep, but can't honestly say they gave 8 hours of intent, laser-focused work. You bragging about sleeping like a baby when you haven't even been working like a lion. That's the problem. Don't you dare go to bed early if you didn't wake up like you were on fire. If you didn't rise with purpose, not just get up, but get up with hunger, with a plan, with a mission, and follow through with execution, then why are you laying down early like you crushed the day? This ain't about punishing yourself. This is about being real. If you woke up and hit snooze 5 times, scrolled your phone for 30 minutes, wasted your morning, procrastinated, got distracted, and barely made it through your task, what are you celebrating at 9 p.m.? You didn't earn the reward. You escaped into rest, and that's the difference between average and elite. Elite performers don't sleep early just because it's bedtime. They sleep early because they started early and gave it everything. When they close their eyes, it's not out of guilt or fatigue. It's out of purposeful recovery. They drained themselves on their craft, their calling, their grind. And now they're refueling for war tomorrow. You want to rest early? Then rise early and be relentless. Wake up with an inner fire so hot that by the time the evening comes, you're physically and mentally empty. Not because you're lazy, because you went all in. You studied, you trained, you created, you served, you led, you built. That's what earns rest. That's what earns peace. You can't earn sleep with mediocrity. You can't fake execution. That pillow may look comfortable, but it becomes a prison if you lay your head down full of regret. You know the feeling when you know you didn't give your best, when your mind replays all the moments you slacked, stalled, scrolled, or gave in. You can't run from it. That voice gets louder in silence, but you know what quiets that voice? You know what quiets that voice? Execution, discipline, hunger, movement, progress. When you wake up and go get it, when you fight through distractions and push through fatigue, when you build momentum from the first hour of your day, then you sleep like a warrior. Then you close your eyes with pride because your day had purpose and your hustle was intentional. Let me tell you something. Waking up hungry isn't just about ambition. It's about urgency. It's knowing time is limited, that your opportunity won't wait, that there are people counting on you, that you've been blessed with another 24 and you don't want to waste a second of it. That hunger is not a phase. It's a lifestyle. It's waking up every morning like you're broke, like you're behind, like you've got something to prove. Even when you're winning, you stay hungry. And when that hunger drives your day, execution becomes non-negotiable. You stop saying, I'll do it later. You stop blaming the weather, your schedule, your energy, your mood. You get laser focused. You crush your to-do list. You make moves. You make moves. You hold yourself to a standard. And by the time the evening comes, you got something most people never feel. Earned exhaustion. And that's the kind of tired that feels good. That's the kind of tired that lets you smile as your head hits the pillow. That's the kind of tired that leads to peace, to deep sleep, to true rest. Not because you escaped your day, but because you dominated it. So from now on, I want you to hold yourself accountable. Don't go to bed early just because the clock says so. Ask yourself, did I earn this rest? Did I wake up like I had something to prove? Did I chase my goals like my life depended on it? Did I execute with precision and passion? If the answer is yes, then sleep early, recover, recharge. You've earned it. But if the answer is no, if you let the day slip by, then stay up, reflect, rethink. Reset, because tomorrow you don't just need to wake up. You need to wake up hungry. And if you wake up hungry, if you rise with that fire and execute like your future is on the line, because it is, then and only then do you deserve to close your eyes early and sleep like a champion. Let's stop playing games. Let's get straight to the truth. Excuses don't build empires. Excuses don't put food on the table. Excuses don't get you to your goals. You can dress them up. You can try to make them sound smart, logical, or even emotional. But at the end of the day, excuses don't produce results. Action does. You can have results or you can have excuses, but you can't have both. See, people get real creative when it's time to explain why they didn't grind today. I was tired. What's on my plate? On my plate, I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't the right time. My situation is different. Listen to me. I've heard every excuse under the sun and not one of them ever changed somebody's life. Excuses are the stories we tell ourselves to feel better about doing less. But they don't move the needle. They don't take the steps for you. They don't grow your business, strengthen your body, fix your relationships, or improve your mindset. Only action does that. You say you want it. You say you're tired of struggling. You say you're ready to change your life. Then why are you still making excuses? Why are you still explaining your way out of the work? You don't need another reason. You need results. And the only way to get those is to stop talking and start doing. I know it's hard. I know life throws curveballs. I've been there. I slept in abandoned buildings. I went days without food. I was broke. I was lost. But guess what? No excuse was big enough to justify quitting. I realized early that every excuse was just another chain, keeping me locked in average. And I wanted out. I wanted freedom. And freedom only comes when you take ownership. You want to change your life, own your life. Stop blaming, stop justifying, stop delaying. Every time you make an excuse, you hand over your power. Every time you make an excuse, you say, my future doesn't matter enough to fight for today. You don't need a perfect plan. You need imperfect action. Action is messy, action is uncomfortable, but action is the only thing that leads to growth. The world doesn't reward potential, it rewards performance. It rewards the ones who show up, even when it's tough, even when it hurts, even when they don't feel ready. Because the difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't luck, it's execution. There are people out there right now who are living your dream, not because they're smarter or more talented, but because they stopped making excuses and started making moves. They decided that no matter what, they were going to act, not just once, but daily, consistently, relentlessly, with fire in their soul and urgency in their steps. Every time you act, you get stronger. Every time you push, you gain momentum. Every time you take one step, even a small one, you get closer. But every excuse, that's a brick you place on your own wall of regret. You're building your prison with your own hands. You got to want results more than you want comfort. You got to want change more than you want to feel good in the moment. Excuses feel good now, but cost you everything later. Action feels tough now, but rewards you with everything later. It doesn't matter if you don't have the money, the support, the background, the perfect environment. What matters is whether you're willing to take action with what you have right now. Because the truth is, most people don't fail from lack of ability. They fail from lack of action. If you wake up tomorrow and you're tired, act anyway. If your schedule is full, find time anyway. If the door is closed, knock again or break it down. Because results don't come to the one with the best excuse. They come to the one with the best grind. And here's the secret. When you take action consistently, your excuses get weaker. The voice that once said you can't becomes silent. Because action builds confidence. Action builds belief. Action builds legacy. But you have to start. You have to do. You have to keep doing. So today, not tomorrow, today, make a decision. No more excuses. No more blaming, waiting, wishing. Get in motion. Write the plan. Make the call. Hit the gym. Send the application. Create the content. Take the risk. Because the world doesn't care why you didn't do it. The world only responds to what you did. Excuses don't produce transformation. Excuses don't produce breakthroughs. Excuses don't produce results. Action does. So act. And don't stop acting until you've created the life you said you wanted. Let this sink in. While you're resting, your competition is grinding. While you're taking a break, they're building. While you're hitting snooze, they're hitting the ground running. You may not see them, but they're out there waking up earlier than you, staying later than you, sacrificing more than you. So the question is, can you afford to rest right now? Now, I'm not saying you can't ever rest. I'm not saying you don't need sleep or recovery. What I'm saying is this: rest is only earned when the work is done. And if your dreams are still miles away, if your goals haven't been reached, if your family is still struggling, if your future still isn't secure, you ain't done. So why are you acting like you crossed the finish line? Here's what separates winners from wishers: awareness. Winners know there's always someone coming for their spot, someone hungrier, someone who doesn't have what they had and is willing to outwork them for it. Wishers, on the other hand, they relax too early. They confuse progress with completion. But success isn't permanent. You have to keep earning it every single day. Let me paint the picture. You sleep in just 1 hour longer today. You skip one workout. You delay one project. It feels like nothing, right? But while you're doing that, someone else just gained on you. They didn't take that hour off. They didn't hit pause. They use your wrist as their window. See, success is a race, but not against time, against effort, and there's no finish line. Every day, you're either pulling ahead or falling behind. There's no pause button on the grind. It keeps moving. And the second you let off the gas, your competition closes the gap. You've got to have that dog mentality, that beast mode mindset. You've got to be obsessed with the idea that somebody out there is trying to take what you're working for. That somebody out there is in the dark putting in reps, studying, training, working, and you won't see them coming until it's too late. Unless you match that energy and then some. I didn't get to where I am because I'm special. I got here because I refused to be outworked. I knew there were people with more talent, more connections, more money. But I also knew they weren't going to get up earlier than me. They weren't going to grind harder than me. And that's how I won. Your edge isn't your talent. It's your grit. It's your grit. Your edge is the discipline to say, I'm tired, but I'm still going to show up. It's the mental toughness to say, you're working right now, so I have no excuse to stop. That's how you pull ahead. That's how you pull ahead. That's how you earn your seat at the table and keep it. You know what's scary? Your competition might not be working harder than you right now, but they're one decision away from flipping the switch, one decision away from waking up earlier, one decision away from training longer, one decision away from finding the hunger you lost. So if you're coasting, if you're chilling, if you're resting too long, you just gave them the advantage. Think about it. While you're chilling on the couch, they're studying the next move. While you're skipping the gym, they're grinding in silence. While you're waiting for motivation, they're moving without it. They're not louder than you, but they're more consistent. And when the lights turn on, when the doors open, when the opportunity arrives, they'll be ready. That should light a fire in your soul. That should push you to go harder, focus deeper, sacrifice more, not out of fear, but out of respect for the grind, respect for what's at stake. Because if you don't push, you'll regret it later. You'll watch someone else live your dream because they didn't rest when you did. Don't let that happen. Don't let the work you've already put in go to waste because you got too comfortable. Don't lose the lead because you got soft. Rest when the work is done. Rest when you're ahead and working to stay ahead. Rest when you've executed with intensity, with focus, with zero excuses. That's when you've earned it. But until then, remember this, your competition is working while you're resting. They're not sleeping on you, so stop sleeping on yourself. Match their hunger, surpass their focus, outwork their best day. Because if you want to win for real, you can't afford to fall asleep at the wheel. The grind never sleeps. So neither can you until the mission is complete. Motivation is loud, it's flashy, it feels good, but it's temporary. It's like lightning, powerful for a moment, then gone. But discipline is the engine. It's the foundation. It's what keeps you moving long after motivation disappeared. So motivation is your spark, but discipline is your fuel. And if you really want to win, you need fuel that lasts. Let's be real. You're not always going to feel like it. You're not going to wake up every morning pumped to work out, study, grind, build, hustle. You're human. Emotions change. Life happens. And if you want to show up when you're motivated, you'll never be consistent. You'll be on fire one day, then ice cold for the next 3. And that's not how you build anything great. The people who make it to the top, the ones who break cycles, change generations, elevate their lives, they are more motivated than you. They're just more disciplined. They do what needs to be done, even when they don't feel like doing it. They've trained themselves to follow through regardless of their mood. You don't think I wake up tired sometimes? You don't think I get frustrated, drained, overwhelmed? I've been homeless, I've been hungry, I've been broke, but I still showed up. Not because I felt like it, because I knew my future depended on it, because I made a commitment to myself and I refused to break it. That's what discipline is, keeping promises to yourself. It's showing up for your goals the same way you show up for your boss or your family, consistently, relentlessly. Because when it's just you, when no one's watching, when there's no applause, discipline is what keeps you accountable. You know how most people live? At the mercy of their feelings. My mood feel like it today. I'm not in the mood. I'll do it tomorrow. And before they know it, they've wasted years. Dreams delayed, purpose neglected, destiny unfulfilled. Because they waited on motivation, and motivation doesn't stick around. But when you build discipline, you don't wait to feel ready. You create readiness through action. You move even when it's inconvenient. You stay consistent even when it's uncomfortable. And eventually, discipline becomes your default. Discipline is what gets you up at 5 a.m. Discipline is what gets you to the gym when your body aches. Discipline is what keeps you focused when distractions come. Discipline is what pushes you to finish that project, launch that business, write that book, make that call, even when nobody is clapping for you. And here's the truth. Success doesn't respond to how you feel. It responds to what you do. You can cry, complain, and get emotional. But if you don't execute, nothing changes. You want results? They don't care if you're tired. You want to be great? Greatness doesn't care if you're motivated. Greatness answers to discipline. When you're disciplined, you don't need outside energy to start. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need someone cheering you on. You've trained your mind to obey your mission. You've taken control, And let me tell you something powerful. Discipline builds confidence. Every time you push through resistance, you prove to yourself that you got what it takes. Every time you show up, even when it's hard, your belief grows. And that belief, that unshakable belief, it becomes your superpower. People will look at you and think, how do they keep going? The answer, discipline. They'll ask, where did they find the energy? You didn't find it. You built it through repetition, sacrifice, and structure. You want to know why some people always rise? Because their habits are stronger than their feelings. They build systems. They don't need hype. They've got routines. They don't need a reason. They've got a purpose. And that's what you need. A discipline so deep that quitting isn't an option. A structure so strong that storms can't shake it. You want to rise. Build that inner system. Stop chasing motivation. It's a feeling. Discipline is a decision, and decisions change lives. Start small if you have to. Set your alarm. Follow through. Go to bed early. Plan your meals. Lock in your schedule. Show up daily. And when you feel like quitting, remind yourself, your goals deserve your discipline. Your dreams deserve your consistency. Your life depends on your effort. Because when motivation fades, and it will, the question is, will you still rise? Will you still grind? Will you still earn your sleep? Discipline will take you places, motivation can't even dream of. Discipline makes sure you don't just start, you finish. Discipline doesn't just promise change, it delivers it. So don't rely on how you feel. Rely on what you build. Build discipline, and let that discipline build your destiny. There's a certain kind of peace you can't buy, a kind of sleep that no pill, no vacation, no spa day can give you. It's the kind of peace that only comes when you know deep in your soul, you gave it your all. Not most, but everything. You know what I'm talking about. Those nights where you lay down in bed and you ain't got no guilt, no what if, no regrets. Why? Because you left it all out there. You didn't cut corners, you didn't hold back, you emptied the tank. Most people don't sleep peacefully because they know they cheated the day. They know they had more to give. They knew they were capable of more, but they settled. And that voice, that inner voice, it don't lie, it don't let you rest. That voice keeps you up, tossing and turning because you didn't show up the way you were supposed to. But when you push yourself, when you grind past your comfort zone, when you do the things you said you would, that voice goes quiet. That voice nods his head in approval. That's when you lay down, close your eyes, and your spirit rests. Not just your body, your spirit. Because it knows you honored the day. You respected your purpose. You see, too many people are chasing comfort when they should be chasing growth. They want soft pillows, not strong minds. They want early nights, not early mornings. But here's the truth. Peace comes from execution. Confidence comes from effort. Sleep is earned through sacrifice. I want you to think about something. How different would your nights feel if you knew you gave everything during the day? How much better would you sleep if you knew you didn't waste time, didn't make excuses, didn't let fear or laziness stop you? How powerful would your life be if every day was a full-out sprint toward your goals? I'm not saying you gotta be perfect. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna fall short sometime. But the key is this. Did you give your best? Did you wake up with intention? Did you push through the resistance? Did you work like it actually mattered? Because when you do, when you truly do, you sleep like a champion. You don't lay there doubting yourself. You don't wake up with shame. You wake up ready to go again because you built trust with yourself. And trust is everything. You can't fake that. You can't lie to yourself about whether you gave it all. Let me be clear. I don't just want you to work hard. I want you to work honor. I want you to work honest. That means no shortcuts, no hiding behind excuses, no blaming others. Honest work brings honest rest. There's a reason soldiers, athletes, entrepreneurs, students, leaders, the real ones, sleep with peace because they went toward that day. They didn't let up. They didn't stop when it got hard. And even if they didn't win, they know they fought with everything they had. That's where the peace is. You can't have both. A life of excuses and a peaceful pillow. You gotta choose. You can either go to bed with energy left over, knowing you held back, or you can collapse into bed spent, knowing you honored your calling. You respected your goals. You earned your rest. You ever see someone who's exhausted but smiling? That's purpose. That's fulfillment. That's what it means to earn your sleep. And let's be real. You know when you're holding back. You know when you're giving 60% and hoping no one notices. But let me ask you, how long you gonna play small? How long you gonna cheat yourself? Because when you lay down at night, the world's not watching, but you are. Your soul is. If you wanna sleep like a lion, you gotta hunt like one. You gotta wake up hungry, move with intention, and refuse to stop until the job is done. That's what lions do. And when the sun sets, they rest in peace. Not because it's dark, but because they dominated the day. And don't think this is just about money or fame. It's about legacy. It's about discipline. It's about waking up and showing your family, your friends, your community, this is what commitment looks like. This is what effort feels like. This is what it means to not just dream, but do. So from now on, make this your standard. Never end a day wondering if you could have done more. Never go to sleep with fuel left in the tank. Never rest until your goals are one step closer. Because when you start living like that, sleep becomes a reward, not a right. And that reward, that peaceful, guilt-free, purpose-filled rest, that's the kind of sleep that heals. That's the kind of sleep that sets you up to wake up the next day and do it all over again, better. So earn it every single night. Grind by day, sleep in peace. Repeat. Everybody wants to talk. Everybody wants to post. Everybody wants the spotlight before they've earned it. But let me tell you something powerful. Real success don't need a microphone. It speaks for itself. You don't need to announce the grind. You need to embrace it. You don't need to broadcast your hustle. You need to bury yourself in it. Grind in silence. Build when nobody's watching. Build when nobody's watching. Show up when no one claps. Success isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's not always pretty. Sometimes success is you waking up at 4 a.m. while everyone else is sleeping. Sometimes it's eating alone, training alone, crying alone, trying alone. And that's okay, because the noise you're making in private. One day, the whole world's gonna feel it. Too many people are addicted to validation. They want credit before they finish. They want applause before the work. But champions, legend, they know the grind is sacred. They know the process is personal. They're not looking for fans. They're building foundations. You think the greats were out here bragging during the process? No, they were locked in, obsessed, focused, hungry. While everybody else was showing off, they were sharpening their craft in the shadows. Because they knew, when it's real, you don't need to talk about it, you just do it. Let me ask you something. What's more powerful, a lion that roars or a lion that hunts? See, a lion don't need to announce itself. You feel his presence. You see the results. His silence, his confidence. His focus is deadly, and that's how you need to move. You want to be successful? Then stop wasting energy on being seen. Stop chasing followers and likes. Chase excellence. Chase consistency. Chase the version of you that doesn't need to talk because your work is too loud. People gonna doubt you. Let them people gonna overlook you. Let them people gonna sleep on you. Let them sleep while you're working. Because when you grind in silence, your results become undeniable. When they finally see you, they won't see potential. They'll see power. They won't hear promises. They'll witness performance. You gotta get comfortable in the dark. That's where greatness is born. The gym with no cameras. The library with no audience. The office after hours. That's the breeding ground of success. That's where you build grit, discipline, resilience. That's where the real you is forged. And when success finally shows up, it'll be so loud they won't be able to ignore you. The same people who doubted you will ask how you did it. The same ones who laugh will try to follow. But you'll know the truth. You didn't do it for them. You did it for you. Oh, you stayed quiet. You stayed focused. And now you become the noise. Listen, you don't need validation. You need vision. You don't need attention. You need action. You don't need fans. You need faith in yourself. If you're really about this life, stop talking about what you're going to do and start doing it. Let your results speak. Let your progress scream. Let your transformation shine. Because guess what? Success has a sound. It ain't talk. It's the sound of early alarm. The sound of your heartbeat in the workout. The sound of keys clicking on your keyboard at 2 a.m. The sound of doors opening that once slammed shut in your face. That's success making noise. That's what you're after. So from this moment on, shift your mindset. Don't post, perform. Don't flex. Don't chase clout. Chase completion. Your grind is sacred. Protect it. Your dream is sacred. Guard it. Your growth is sacred. Respect it. You don't need permission to build. You don't need applause to grow. You don't need recognition to rise. All you need is relentless work and ruthless consistency. You keep stacking wins in silence. You keep showing up. You keep showing up. You keep pushing, even when nobody sees it. Because one day they'll ask how you did it. They'll ask where you came from. And you'll smile, not because you want attention, but because you know you were grinding while they were sleeping. And that silence, that quiet hustle, that lonely road, it built something louder than any speech. It built results. Now you don't have to say a word. Success will say it all. Grind in silence. Let success make the noise. When you earn your sleep, when you grind all day with everything inside you, something powerful happens the next morning. You don't just wake up. You rise with purpose, not pressure. You rise with clarity, not confusion. You rise with energy, not excuses. Most people wake up dragging their feet, hitting snooze, dreading the day. Why? Because they didn't do anything yesterday that made today meaningful. They didn't plant anything yesterday, so they've got no harvest to look forward to today. But when you earned your sleep, when you pushed through the pain, when you gave everything you had, you wake up excited. You wake up driven. You wake up with direction. That alarm clock doesn't scare you. It fuels you because your purpose is louder than your comfort. Your why is stronger than your fatigue. You don't need motivation when you've got momentum. And momentum is born from discipline, from consistency, from earning it. See, there's a difference between resting and escaping. Some people sleep because they're tired of their life. Others sleep because they've been fighting for their life. They've been working, building, climbing. And now when they lay down in victory, and when they wake up, they don't ask, what now? They say, let's go again. Again. You've got to build a life where every day has weight, where every move counts, where you're not just passing time, you're planning legacy. That kind of living, that kind of discipline, it creates a rhythm. And that rhythm becomes your identity. You start owning your days, not just surviving there. You start designing your life, not reacting to it. You start showing up with power, not panic. Because when you earn your sleep, you sleep with peace and you wake up with intention. Most people are stuck in cycles. They wake up tired because they wasted the day before. Then they drag through another day half-hearted, barely focused, then wonder why they feel so empty at night. That's not life. That's not purpose. That's existing. But when you live a life of effort, when you go all in, when you fight to grow, you break that cycle. So you start stacking meaningful days, days that matter, days that move you forward. And those days start building a future you can be proud of. Let me ask you, what kind of energy would you have in the morning if you knew you took one step closer to your dream the day before? How would you walk into your job, your class, your grind, if you knew you left nothing on the table yesterday? You'll be walking with pride, with confidence, with conviction. You'll be walking like somebody who knows where they're going. Purpose ain't some magical lightning bolt that hits you one day. Just some title or a job or a destination. Purpose is a result of doing the work. Purpose is born from movement, from action. You find purpose when you start building something greater than yourself. And how do you get there? You earn your sleep. You take control of your hours. You dominate your time. You stop wasting daylight. You stop chasing distractions. You start attacking your goals with everything in you. And when you do that, that pillow ain't a place of regret. It becomes a place of reward. That morning alarm isn't an enemy. It becomes your invitation to rise. Rise and build again. Rise and climb higher. Rise and make yesterday proud. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Don't get tired of the grind. Get addicted to growth. Fall in love with improvement. Fall in love with impact. Fall in love with doing what others want so you can live how others can't. Because when you know that you've earned your rest, every morning becomes an opportunity, not an obligation. And hear me, this doesn't mean you won't get tired. It doesn't mean you won't want to quit. It doesn't mean the path won't get hard. But it means you'll have a reason to keep going. That's what purpose gives you. It gives you power. It gives you fuel. It gives you focus when your feelings want to fold. So here's your challenge. Stop waking up hoping something changes. Start going to sleep knowing you changed something. Make today matter. Push beyond your limits. Do what you said you would. Earn that rest. Because when you do, you'll rise tomorrow with fire in your chest and vision in your mind. You'll walk into the world not asking for purpose, but living in it. Because you didn't wait for it. You worked for it. You earned your sleep. And now you wake up with purpose.